Morning, ladies and gentlemen. Eddie Marcus here again. And I'm on the same mission: freedom, life. You know, I can't tell you about yesterday. That is left to historians. They will tell you about the beginning of time, about who lived and what happened during those times. They will speak about the spiritual order and its establishment and the powers that exist and its purpose. All of that I can't tell you anything about, except maybe perhaps share with you what I've heard, perhaps even what I've read. I can't talk to you about tomorrow. We'll leave that to those futuristics. They'll tell you how things turned out. They'll tell you whether it was worth it or not. And be that as it may, I can, however, tell you about today. And what I would tell you about today is that which is most relevant and that which you alone understands. Now, I call this today hell. I call it that because of the pain, the suffering that people have to endure. I call it hell because there are those who have much and there are those who have nothing. I call it hell because in order for this to exist, there's an awful lot of lying going on, a lot of cheating, a lot of stealing, a lot of crime and violence, a lot of hatred, a lot of racism and bigotry. I call it hell because there's a lot of terror and there's a lot of war going on. To me, these things are all behind the pain and suffering that people endure. And so, I call it hell. I call it hell because how committed people are to it. They usually follow this by following the dictates and ideals of other men, just like themselves. Other men who walk through this life doing the same things that most of us do, and then coming to a point when if they sit, it's because someone is sitting them up, or if they're lying down, it's because somebody's stretching them out. They come to a point when perhaps they are put in a box and stuck in the ground. And over time, they decay to the point that they become dust like the dirt in which they're bedded in. And yet they have controlled and dictated the conduct and lives of millions and perhaps billions of people. Or maybe they walked around in life just like you and I, doing all kinds of things, being exposed to all kinds of things and calling it good or bad. But even they find themselves one time when they're sitting, only if someone sits them up, or lying down when someone does it for them. Sometimes you see them put oil on them and stick a match to them, and they burn like a piece of paper. And like that ash that comes from paper is usually burned, and a little wind come through and blow it, and it just turn and disappear. And to think that someone who have been a human walking on this earth just like any of us, and now have dissipated like ash in the wind, but controlled the conduct, dictated the way of life for even these hundreds, thousands, millions, and perhaps even billions of individuals. Well, this is the result, as I see it, of today. But even in something as despicable and detrimental as this, I can still see today differently. Because I see today when we take our faith off listening to those who turn to dust or those who turn to ash, but to a power that we've never seen, but we've experienced the evidence of its existence. The evidence in the fact that we exist on an earth that we didn't build with the resources that would do everything that we've ever wanted it to do in satisfaction to our lives. Where we are responsible for the food, the clothing, the shelter, the education, the health care, the transportation, and anything that we receive built by the hands of man. Because we're blessed to understand that each and every last one of us benefit from this earth, and each and every last one of us have to participate in the process of making sure that whatever we need on this earth is made available by us, to us. And we choose a career that gives us our greatest joy, and we spend our lives daily enjoying life as we create to glorify and simplify and magnify the invisible God that no one has ever seen, only through the evidence. So I say to the American people, I say to the people of the world, there is heaven today, right now, for every last one of you. But each of us are missing it because it requires that we change. Thank you.